Hello, everyone. My name is Liam Richardson, and I'm head of content for Closer Still Media. We're fast approaching Therapy Expo, which is returning on the 23rd and 24th of November at the NEC in Birmingham. As we build up to the event this year, what we're going to do is try and have some conversations with some of our speakers, members of our advisory board, some of our partners who are going to take us a little bit behind the scenes about what we've got in store at the event this year. And where better than to start with someone who's been involved in Therapy Expo since I think pretty much the very beginning, back in those dim and distant days when people's energy bills weren't as expensive as the cost of a small Greek island or anything like that. So we've got Daniel Lawrence, who is the head of education at RockTape. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you today?
Hi Liam, very well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me to come and speak to you. And yeah, looking forward to the event as well.
Fantastic. No, great to be working with you again, Daniel. So to begin with, I wanted to ask, what are you going to be talking about this year? What sessions have you got planned? And why are those sessions going to be really important for our attendees?
Of course, well, at the RockTape Movement Summit Demo Zone, we've got a range of sessions, and all of the sessions will be highly practical. So there'll be lots of things for people to see, intertwined with evidence and important theoretical information, but it's going to be very much a visual display of what you can do using exercise, using manual therapy, and using the RockTape products, which include the Rock Pods and the Rock Blades, for example. One of our popular sessions last year, we're going to bring back again this year with a few updates, and that one was sciatica versus manual therapy. Obviously, sciatica is a very difficult thing to treat and to manage, and that's why we took it on as something to talk about and to present on, because it is something which is difficult. So it required some considerable thought and research that went into this presentation, but that was very popular last year. It's very interesting to look at, to watch, and we share some fascinating information. So we'll be bringing that one back as well. And also over the last year, we've been working with a SCAR specialist therapist and educator called Emma Holly. She'll be joining us again at the summit at the demo zone and showing us some ways of working with and managing scar tissue as a hands-on massage or manual therapist. So we're looking forward to showing that to people and presenting that. And finally, one of our other popular sessions is the Pilates class from our instructor, Gemma Griffiths. And I think it's a brilliant thing to have in the show, just a half an hour session. But when you come to these conferences, typically you've traveled a long way in the car or on the train. You may have been sitting listening to some fascinating lectures, but sitting still for a period of time. So if we can offer people the chance to do a bit of movement, then that's usually well received by the attendees. And Gemma's an excellent instructor as well, so her sessions are always very popular. If you can't participate, which is free, of course, you just come along and join in. If you can't participate, then they're always good to watch, because chances are you'll pick up some new Pilates moves and tips and instructional information from that as well. So that's just a snapshot. We've got a lot more going on, but there's just a few things I thought I'd highlight for you.
That's fantastic. Some great speakers involved there. And I think it's fair to say that from my experience last year, those sessions, particularly because they're so practical, are really well attended. People were really engaged coming from the last year. So it's great to be working with you and the team again at RockTape this year. I was going to ask Daniel as well, I joked at the beginning, you've been coming to Therapy Expo since the very beginning. So what is it you like about Therapy Expo? Why is it so valuable for you, do you think?
Yeah, it's a very valuable, very important event for me to come to personally. Things are always changing within the therapeutic world of the industry. And this is a key place to absolutely keep your finger on the pulse and to see what's going on, both at an academic level, clinical level, and commercially as well. You can see what people are talking about, what people are using, and you can also appreciate what the hottest topics are in the industry as well. It's also, on a personal level, brilliant to meet people that you may have seen on social media, of course, people that are bringing new information to the industry, new courses, that sort of thing. So it's also a fantastic interpersonal space as well on an annual basis, and it's definitely an important annual event on many levels.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much. We've obviously got lots of attendees who join us at Therapy Expo who might be brand new to the whole industry, or they may have only been in their post or in roles for a couple of years maximum. As someone who's very experienced, who knows what they're doing, what is there a sort of single piece of advice that you could perhaps impart now for those people who might be listening in on this, watching it today?
Yeah, the challenge to that question is the single piece of advice. It's going to be almost impossible to do that. It's a bit of a cliche to say stick to the basics. So I'll explain what I mean by that. I think if you've done a course that gets you into the industry, typically a level 3 massage type of course, then that's definitely a good starting point. After that, I would advise, again, building on that by doing a level 4 or level 5. There's some fantastic level 5 courses out there. One of our instructors, Mike Grice, delivers a brilliant level 5 course with his company, Movement Therapy in Birmingham. And then to maybe look at building on that. Then the final thing would be to read and to keep reading. Obviously, make sure what you're reading is kind of current and up to date, etc. But reading is a very fantastic way of learning, an inexpensive way of learning, and also it allows you to learn at your own pace. So you can think, you can reflect, and you can reread information as well. So building on the basics, level 3, 4, 5, building up that way, and then keep reading, whether it's books or research papers, whatever. Just keep reading, and that will allow you to expand your knowledge as you progress. And we all do that too. I mean, I'm always reading a lot, and I know my physiotherapy colleagues as well are always building on their studies and on their knowledge as well. So it's an ongoing thing, not just something that you do when you're new.
Brilliant. No, thanks for that. Finally, I guess, so neat segue on the subject of reading, quite appropriately, you've been writing a book.
Almost sounds like I set that up, doesn't it?
This could be just sort of an appearance on Graham Norton or something. We're just plugging the latest your latest wares, isn't it? But so tell us a little bit about that. What's the process been like, and when's it out, and what's it going to be about?
Yes, of course. So this is my second book, and it's on cupping. It's clinical cupping. It's about the modern use of cupping or myofascial decompression. And the first thing I do in the book is to look at the history of cupping and to look at its modern use, and to see how we can make a rather ancient treatment, traditional treatment, fit into a modern Western manual therapy approach to dealing with pains and joint dysfunctions as such. So that's the first thing, is to bring it into the present day, bring it into Western medicine, and to kind of appreciate where it's come from historically, culturally, and also from it's a part of religion of the Islamic faith as well, which is very fascinating. So we recognize that, and then we extract it and plug it into our kind of modern way of using it. Then we look at the research, we look at the mechanisms by which cupping is most likely to be working. What are the plausible scientific mechanisms from a nervous system point of view, from a mechanical, fascia, soft tissue point of view, and also some of the cellular events that occur when you apply this vacuum decompression to the skin. And we discuss those things. And then most importantly, the book gets highly practical. Always a challenge to make a book practical, but we've done that with lots of high-res photographs of different uses. And then the book has QR codes which link to short video demonstrations with audio description as well. So that when you're looking at technique, you can see the picture, you can quickly use your phone, QR code link, and it will show you the technique or techniques with a description with the book as well. So that really brings the book to life, and that's one of the most exciting features about it as well. It's published by Lotus Publishing, which is a well-known publisher in the UK, and it will be we're planning to launch it at your event. planning to
Brilliant.
release it at your event, Therapy Expo in November. So yeah, definitely excited about that. And then off the back of that, we'll have demonstrations on the modern use of cupping at the demo zone, and I'll be delivering a talk at your Theatre C, I believe, on again the modern use of cupping. So that's definitely a strong theme for us and for RockTape at the event.
Fantastic. So we'll be able to have people be able to get their signed copies if they need to when they go to the event as well.
Yes, that's the plan. Absolutely.
Brilliant. Daniel, thank you very much. It's going to be great to see you again at Therapy Expo in November. And obviously to everyone watching this, we hope you can join us as well to hear more from Daniel and the rest of the team at RockTape and all the amazing sessions he's planning for his theatre. And yeah, look forward to hopefully seeing you all on the 23rd and 24th of November in Birmingham. Thank you very much. Thank you, Daniel. Cheers.